When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, because then it costs nothing to be a patriot. Be that trailblazer today, my friend. Go forth, Jake, in Oregon, and defeat the New World Order with the weapon of truth and the First Amendment.
Lines of the InfoWar.
Coming up at the start of the next segment, I'm going to go back to your calls and then back into news, but we've also got a little lower third animation that Marcos Morales, one of our great graphics people, put together. If you're watching us at Prisonplanet.tv, probably 95% of folks are listening to us on XM 166 and over 100 wonderful, brave AM and FM affiliates out there, or over the audio streams. But if you go up to the Prisonplanet.tv, there's a 15-day free trial. You can watch the whole 3-hour radio show, see the nightly news, and support the First Amendment. Each membership to Prisonplanet.tv is really 6 memberships. Now, create a username and passcode, and we tell you this, that isn't to your bank or to whatever, or you better trust those you give it to. Just make up a username and passcode, 15 cents a day, $5.95 a month, or go get a 15-day free trial membership that we've got going, and then 6 people can be logged in simultaneously with the same username and passcode. That's the number under our old system that it wouldn't crash the servers if everybody logged on at the same time with it. We've gotten our bandwidth cheaper now and better, and we have a better system. And so Prisonplanet.tv, knock on wood, is really never slow anymore. We're getting better and better, so I'm tempted to turn it up to 10 people per membership. But is that pearls before swine? Go get a membership, or if you have one, send your username and passcode to a couple friends and family and tell them tune in to the radio show. They can watch it. But they can also get the commercial-free podcast. By the way, folks, it's supposed to be a commercial-free podcast for the radio show every day, and we had folks in here that every once in a while forgot and didn't cut all the commercials out. You complained, and someone is no longer with us here anymore. So you complained, and we appreciate that, and they were unable to stop leaving the commercials in, so they're bye-bye. And the only reason I raise that and bring that up is we do listen to you. We're trying to get better. But just remember, we do everything the best we can. We're not some big monolithic operation. I get emails that are sent to the crew sometimes that say, I've sent you emails and you don't respond. I can't even hardly go see my grandmother once a month. I used to go see her every week. She lives here in town. I'm just letting you know. People go, well, this politician sends me an email back. It's a fake one from their staff. And do people really want a fake auto-respond like it's from me? I mean, do you really want that? Because when I send out a message to people, you know, I go write it and then they send it out in a mass email. Like when you're on InfoWars Insider, you do get occasional messages I actually write. When you, uh-oh, the graphic's already on screen. Oh my gosh. We're still going to play it coming up at the next break because I had some special things I wanted to say about Janet Napolitano. You know, I was out at Steiner Ranch this week doing the latest installment that is incredible of Brothers in Arms and our new gun show we're doing. Might be every 2 weeks, might be every month, in the future every week. We're just developing it right now. My idea of a gun show. And if you think the last episode was powerful at Prisonplanet.tv, wait till you see the next one. But we actually saw real dung beetles. I don't usually see those out on our ranch that we've got in East Texas, but these are big dung beetles rolling dung around. We got some high-def video of Janet Napolitano. But I told Marcos a month or so ago, I said, I want a graphic like they have on History Channel where the bug for Prisonplanet.tv or InfoWars does something funny. Why don't we have Janet Napolitano laying eggs that turn into little TSA goblins? Well, he came up with this. Go ahead and roll it again, please. It is, theater of the mind, describe it for people who are listening on the radio. She is a little red dinosaur, and she comes out and lays an egg that is a TSA bat boy that flies off. And then a hammer falls down and crushes the Napolitano goblin, no affiliation with the real Janet puppet, New World Order Napolitano. We wish her a long and healthy life, but nice little thing he added there with the hammer. So he'll get the Secret Service visit. I'm just joking. It's a joke. Anyways, so there you go. That's one of the funny little things we have now. Let me get into the news. You know, I always realize I'm procrastinating on some of the news because this is really painful stuff. And I read this last night and this morning and then again when I came in. And by the third or fourth looking at it, I'm like, wow. And people who think I want to make the government look bad, you got it wrong, okay? There's so much of this stuff that I can't even keep track of it, and it's all so horrible. I don't have words to really get it down, okay? So let me just go ahead and try to get into all this. Let me just go ahead and begin with the economy stack, just part of it. I actually have 2 stacks on the economy. Here it is. Google trends. Fear of bank runs hits all-time high for Americans. Concern over economic crisis outstrips Lehman Brothers aftermath. And Paul Watson, in this article at Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.tv and Infowars.net, one of our auxiliary backups, so they take down the other sites, I should add, he shows the concern over Lehman Brothers and huge meltdowns being bigger in U.S. searches, and it's gotten Google Analytics that you can look at too. It's public. All the numbers. This outstrips the 2008 plunge and panic. It outstrips everything. It outstrips all the big crises by a pretty dramatic figure. In fact, I can show you the graph right here if you're watching on TV. There is current concern over bank runs, the highest it's ever been, going back since 2004. That article is at the bottom of featured news section at Infowars.com. Might want to get that out to everybody. According to the latest figures out of Google Trends, Americans have been searching for the term bank run in record numbers. Yeah, I've talked to people at the bank. I was getting some cash out, and so was my wife. And they're like, wow, everybody's getting cash out. Well, let me see if we've got $2,000. So it's pretty serious. The search volume index on Google for bank run in the United States region peaked at an all-time record level May 13th and has hovered around this high ever since. Yeah, it is just turbo charging right there. Go read the whole article. Speaking of that, Zero Hedge has links to The Guardian and other papers. Police urging Greeks to stop stuffing mattresses. We have spent a considerable amount of time in the week or two explaining why depositor withdrawals or bank runs are the death knell for the euro experiment. We first described the runs on banks and governments. Zero Hedge is just spot on. It's a bunch of big multimillionaire stockbrokers who remain anonymous. Every poster on there is called Tyler Durgan. You know, I'm told they're listeners, but I can't ever get them on. Side issue, though. Let's continue. On the basis of the potential for overnight loss of fundability back in December, but the escalation last week in Greece and the contagion in Spain signals things shifting to 11 on the amplifier of Euro fail. That's a little Spinal Tap comment, or so I have read. This evening brings new information from The Guardian that police are urging Greeks to keep their money in bank accounts rather than putting it at risk of theft amid further uncertainty about whether the austerity-struck country will remain in the Eurozone. And it goes on, quoting Reuters and The Guardian and others. Many people have withdrawn their money from banks fearing a financial crash, and they either carry it in on them, find a hideout, a home, or in storage rooms. We urge people to trust the banking system, trust the Titanic, everything's fine, light a cigar, leave their money there, or at least in a safe place, not hide it at the home. Well, the cash can be devalued too. I don't have very much cash. I don't have very much anything. I just have paid off my debts and got a bunch of hillbilly family. So that's my, and anybody coming in my house is going to be attacked by the bull mastiff. I didn't mention that dog. And the firearms. But that's if you can make it through the barbed wire. But, and again, it's not because I'm living in fear. It's because I'm ready. I'm ready. And if my wife doesn't shoot you, my 9-year-old son will. Let's continue here. Big European funds dump euro assets. That's the Financial Times today. So there you go. The globalists are gutting the euro, but they'll demand giant tax increases to save it, which will then be more they'll steal. Then they'll continue to implode it. Then they'll steal even more, holding everyone hostage, posing as saviors with whore media telling you how great they are. That's going to be the plan. Some of Europe's biggest fund managers have confirmed they're dumping euro assets amid rising fears over a possible Greek exit from the Eurozone in a single currency turmoil. The euro's sudden fall this month caught many investors by surprise. Europe's single currency has lost 5% in the past 3 weeks after barely moving against the dollar for much of the year. And it just goes on to break all of that down. Real federal deficit dwarfs official tally. And it's bigger than Europe's. USA Today actually reports the truth for once. And it goes over to say that it is a lot bigger than the slaves have been told. Of course, they don't tell you that it's 600+ trillion that they claim we owe. It's not our debt, but the bankers had the crooks sign us onto it. It's a couple million per person. Impossible to pay. And it doesn't really matter because they got 30,000 drones and SWAT teams that are ready to eat their mother's guts and ask for seconds because following orders is tough. Drinking fluoride and using DUs, tough too. Going in that pine box is real tough too. Government loves you. Enforcers, don't they? Yeah, they love you a lot. Here's another one. Euro, again, falls between $1.25. So that's why the dollar's up. But it's like their ship's sinking so fast that ours isn't sinking as fast. So people are like, yay. Number of high school students with job hits 20-year low. Washington Times. Well, Obama just says go out and start a company. It's no big deal. Of course, you can't because they're increasing the power prices, shutting off the street lights, and you can't make it to work because you can't pay for the gas. Even if you could, you can't pay for all the insurance and stickers, and the cops are going to catch you. If you're an illegal alien, you're above the law, and they let you go on record, but that's okay. Pentagon contractor admits engaging in dirty tricks against journalists. Big article there where one of the biggest groups out there publicly admits they go after people, including Americans. You don't talk bad about them. And that's what's up next. Australia banning free speech. This is a big deal. Look right there.
A little over a year ago, I began to do a lot of research.
All right, here is the Janet Napolitano laying a little TSA goblin egg graphic with something added to it. So here is that, and I'll go back into the news and your phone calls.
I mean, big bucks, stop. Stop that.
Oh, man. We are definitely out of control. You know, this is like gallows humor here, though. I mean, this is a hardcore show, but we do screw around a little bit. Because if you didn't, it would make you cry. There she is laying a pedophile egg so it can hatch out and she can waive the background check. And a priest defrocked for reportedly abusing 3 little girls, CBS News reports, can then be the commander of Terminals D and E and use his security badge to have the media thrown out. We're here to discuss the fact that you were defrocked for sexually abusing reportedly 11-year-old and other girls. I'm in command, get out of here. I mean, the video's up at Infowars.com in our article linking over to CBS. TSA hired accused sex abuse priest, pedophile, as screener. It said reported earlier. Why is it now changed to accused? Reported. My head's spinning. Now it's suddenly changed to reported. Okay, let's see what it is on Infowars.com right now. Anyways, that article is up at Infowars.com. And I mean, I see these every couple days now. And most of them I don't even cover it. It's like another one caught with a bunch of child porn. Another one caught raping their neighbor's 5-year-old. Well, who else wants to do that? Who else wants to humiliate and scream at people for too big a shampoo bottle? Or even if it isn't too big. Amazing. Absolutely off the charts. Amazing. All right, this even blows me away. I remember 3 years ago, headlines in the Australian news, and they reported it with a straight face like it was good. Australia to adopt Chinese-style net censorship. And it said,